Welcome to another session of Endless Space 2. I'm Matt and this is my Lumeris playthrough on Endless difficulty. So, for some reason the trade route here on Hada is just not working. And I have no idea why. Because we have this trait that we can break blockades during Cold War. And also, we have a population bonus that we just ignore blockades on trading routes entirely. So, I'm not sure why it doesn't work, because we should be able to trace back from here, and here is basically direct star lanes I'm following with my mouse, all the way back to one of our systems, here Placidus. Maybe it's because we're at war with blue, but we should be able to break their blockade. So, I have no idea why it doesn't work.
What do
Wait.
you sound like when you scream?
I guess I can try this. I don't think it'll work. So that's really weird, because it should be able to go right through here and reach us that way. I know it passes a bit of blue's territory, but also, I don't know, it just seems like, to me, like, this should not affect it. We can still operate on 3 trade routes, right? Three trade routes are fine. It's just that it would have been nice to have the extra trade route so far away. But alright, I guess I'll have to live with it. I'm going to keep upgrading our trade routes, or upgrading our systems with trade route exits. And we can get another trade route exit on Lyra in a couple of turns. Sounds like Lyra from His Dark Materials. Anyway, I remember those being good books, but I read them from ages ago, so who knows. Let's just get this forced labor on this hero. I don't know which of these skills is that good, because happiness is not that necessary at this stage of the game. Bonus science is also, like, it's just okay. I mean, these are all, like, sort of flattish bonuses. This upgrade is pretty strong on Senate. And also this upgrade is quite strong, but I'm just going to get the industry upgrade, I guess, and settle for that. We need to research science, though. Now, we could go directly for this political theatre, but capitalist frenzy is already quite reasonable, so we don't have to prioritize this, I don't think. Capitalist frenzy being the upgrade we got for the quest the other time. So I'm just going to get this extra coordinator howl, and that lets us get even more command points. So unfortunately, because we have no colonization ship, our command points are lower than other factions' command points would be at this stage. So with this, and then the carrier ship, the other factions would be able to get a 4 stack of carrier ships, which would be great, right? But unfortunately, we just can't. Like, we don't have a colonization ship, and that's just really bad. So just for military, like, we're just doing worse than other factions would be. Which is a pretty big deal, and like a big disincentive for us to play militarily. Those command points really do matter. Like, it can mean the difference between having a really powerful fleet and having a mediocre fleet, really. Okay, forcing peace on green kind of, or lime green, kind of made them very aggressive towards us. Which is unfortunate, but okay. Alright. Now, we can get this SLC to start converting planets, and I think I will. Because what the SLC lets us... Oh god, have they declared war? Ugh, that's irritating.
Regardless of the viewpoint, do not.
That's so annoying, because I want to maintain peaceful relationships with as many factions as possible. But if my allies keep declaring war, I can't do that. Alright, the reason I wanted SLC is because it lets us influence convert planets. So certain planets are quite vulnerable to influence pressure right now. And that is this Craver planet and this Craver planet. And just generally Craver planets near Placidus, because we're generating a decent amount of influence for this system. And in that way, we're setting ourselves up to pick up these planets in a decent amount of time. We can also put some influence pressure here with Fatia, which is a great influence generation planet. Especially due to the pipes which we're about to get. This is kind of like a Donark University. Except you can get it on multiple planets, so it's really strong. So I think I will go for the SLC, try and pick up a few planets by influence pressure. I feel very annoyed that my allies have declared war. Let me see about brokering a truce.
Harmony, not to anger or offend.
Actually, universal aerodynamics is quite dangerous to give them. I guess I can give the gamma absorption. Let's make that offer. Okay, sweet. So at least we're truce with them.
We are at war.
We could request alliance from him.
Nations contacting the Empire.
And he's very... Alright, I completely messed up that diplomatic situation. Which is kind of unfortunate. So forcing peace is apparently not so good if you're facing the United Empire. Or maybe just because the United Empire thinks they can take us, and they're upset about the forced peace. I'm not sure how the forced peace rules work. Basically, I've had a lot of good experiences with that ability, just force peace. And I guess even if they hate you, they can still force peace on them, like, they'll stop them from attacking you. So it looks kind of bad, but I don't know if it would have been better if we hadn't forced peace here. The workers' campus is solid. We do want microwave pipes here, though, at some point. Once we have SLC, we can start getting this influence upgrade. This Edenization on each planet with a near a border. And that will turn our population to extra influence generators. And it's kind of like getting a microwave pipe for influence in our system there. So basically pretty good. Actually, I should get this AI labor on this planet system thing, because AI labor improves our generation of industry for populations on sterile planets. Oh, I should have gotten another freight. Nah, never mind. I can wait. Really, the SLC is great if you have any amount of influence pressure on anyone, or if your borders are any amount of pressing on anyone. Now here's personal networking is improving our science by a lot, and also this will be improving our industry by a lot, and this will be improving our industry and our food by a lot. So yeah, very excellent. I guess I'll just get the flat industry bonus. Not confident about the decision, but alright. Yeah. Who cares? It's the middle to end game. Like, the small decisions don't matter that much anymore. Does this place have a... Yeah, it does have a... mining... Sorry. Not mining. A trading company. I mean mining company. Come on, that's close enough. Grant me that. Let's get the microwave pipes. Microwave pipes are great, and they also give us bonus influence. It's very important in this area. If we ever have to end our peace with the Sophons, we are desperately in need of like a way to reduce the influence pressure on us. We can improve Andromeda Corporation. We can improve Fatia. Fatia is like the strongest one of ours. Despite only tracing back to 5. That's weird, it says 6, but there's no 1 that's being blocked, so I guess it can't trace back to them. This is really annoying that this can't trace back a route. I think I could just disable the trading company if I want. And maybe I should. Yeah, these upgrades are fine, so I don't mind getting them here, but... My question is, do I want to... Since this trading company doesn't seem to work here, I probably just don't want to dismantle it. That's unfortunate, but okay. Okay. I wasn't losing any income from that, so I can just build the trading company somewhere else. Unfortunate that it didn't work. I could have sworn it should work. Like, the rules of this are very obscure. Like, it should go like through here, 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 And then here, and then it has to go through Fages, but like we can blockade break, so we should be fine. So I don't know, it's very inconsistent. Like I did it in the previous game, which was basically the same, and it worked. So I'm not sure why that's happening. Like it's not my fault; it's the developer's fault, basically. It's very confusing. Part of the reason why I don't like playing with trade routes or focusing my strategy on trade routes that much. Oops, let me get the trade route company here. Yeah. And then we'll bang some dust. And improve Galta a bit. I also want to improve this tree, because then I'm going to get this, no, not that. The seagrass petrochemicals, which will let us convert our extra food into industry on systems where we have maxed out our food production. And also we get a bit of extra dust because of it, because we're playing Lumeris. This is normally a pretty good upgrade, but with Lumeris it improves. Apparently seagrass is magical, and it's even better. It gives us 1 dust for every 5 food converted, so that's pretty solid actually. Improve our dust, improve our industry. And improving our industry will also improve our dust again. So also this untraceable markets for this, the white market, is a pretty solid upgrade. If we're at peace with like 6 out of 7 different factions we can possibly be at peace with. So if we're at peace with all of these from forced peace, then we're going to get 30% bonus Fitzy on one system. Which is less impressive than others, I say it out loud. But it's still quite solid. Culture of Vertex is also pretty good. This autonomous administration is not bad. This perfect negotiation is also good. I mean, the main thing here is that it helps us reduce approval, or reduce expansion disapproval. Which is, it's fine. It's just that federations are so much better at doing this. Although I promised myself I wouldn't just switch to a federation in every playthrough. Body Language Institute is a good upgrade for... Oh, it's actually 10% influence bonus. Actually, it's not that good. It's kind of garbage. But this cooperation protocol is interesting. It lets us spend influence to gain the bonuses of the other empire's population. So that's interesting. But it does again cost influence each turn. So it does cost influence, so the costs sort of mount with this thing. Unless you have a ton of influence, I'm not that interested in getting this, even though it's a good way to strengthen your alliance. Or get more out of your alliance. This carrier class ship is very strong though. Unfortunately we can't abuse carriers as much as other factions, but it's still a decent upgrade. And this untraceable markets is also something I want to do. I think we have to get the carriers no matter what. And then we can think about what else we should get. Well, like at some point in this game we need carriers. That's just... Oh, sorry about that. That's just like unavoidable. It's impossible not to get carriers. For like endgame. Like, we just have to have a military on standby. If we don't, we run the risk of just being run over at some point. And if we have a military, we kind of want the best kind of military, which is like these capital class ships. Basically, the bigger the ships are, the better in this game. At least I think so. Basically, the idea is that a bigger ship will be able to soak more damage before exploding, meaning that it'll actually get to do more damage before enemy damage impacts your damage output. And I think the bigger ships are also scaled to be better per command point. At least those are my explanations for why they're just stronger. And they just seem stronger. Like, I don't think I'm wrong about that. We'd really like more of these, but unfortunately we don't have that much antimatter. Does Gold have a hero? Yeah, it has Pi. Life of Pi. I do want this microwave pipes here. Can we buy antimatter? Yes, we can. Great. I'm just gonna buy all 27 of it. We desperately want antimatter. Get microwave pipes at all of our locations. It's just a very solid upgrade. Yeah, I'm sad that Hadar couldn't do more for us. I was like convinced that this was going to work out, but sadly that's not how the game works. Oh, we can't get... Oh, we need Adamantium. Ha! That's ironic. you have one of the resources, but you don't have the other. That's unfortunate. So, as you can see, Celestial Vines make you immune to influence conversion. Meaning that the Unfallen are so good at influence pressure because they can never be pressured back with their vines. Or at least they can never lose systems to the pressure. They could still, like, they have to give you some resource terms or whatever. But, you know, not that bad. Now we're pretty close to covering losers, I think. On this system, let's just get all of the Edenizations. At the border, we're going to prioritize Edenization. So if it looks like we are going to pressure like them with influence, or they're going to pressure us, then we have to prioritize influence. If it looks like the opposite is true, like if it looks like no pressure is happening either way, we don't have to prioritize Edenization. But it's probably a good exercise for me to just go through all the planets which need Edenization and just get it everywhere. We don't. I mean, we do want this extra Orichalcix. I always look at that, like, always mouse over it because I always forget the name for the purple stuff. We can get that later, but we don't need it right now. That's why I'm prioritizing the Edenization first. Always get the more important upgrades first. Sounds obvious, but it's, you know, just have to remember to do it. The obvious advantage being that we could start triggering SLC a bit earlier. Get more out of it. And also, if we get this Edenization a bunch of times... Actually, I almost want to get it here, because Fatia is very close to this border, and push them back. And also get more pressure on yellow. Yeah, I guess why not? Colonial Exchange is good, but it's only good on sterile planets. So maybe I'll split the difference. Get this on sterile. Get Edenization everywhere else. Although, like, the two populations, the two dust bonus for this is, you know, spectacular on this tiny toxic planet. I wonder if, actually, maybe Taurus is like a good system for where we're in a normal terraform right now. This might be a good system for Edenization. And the reason being that it's actually kind of close to borders. Like, it's already pushing against Ash. And yeah, I think that is it. I think all other planets we don't need to prioritize Edenization. We can instead get Colonial Exchange or some garbage. Yeah, we already have Colonial Exchange there. Oh yeah, I forgot the system right in the middle of... Wait, did I forget Hada? Let me double check. Yeah, I did. This is the system, like, the most needing Edenization. Grab it. Yeah, that's fine. I think we should just pick up Edenization here. Just, like, it's so heavily, like, outclassed production-wise by these systems of pink. If we have any hope of ever winning the influence battle there, we need to get that Edenization upgrade. Now, we're still saving dust, so we can spam stuff into our new headquarters. So annoying that we can't actually convert this, but okay. Yeah, I'm falling not great at playing the influence battle. We shouldn't be surprised by that. We can just pick this random new system though, which is like, you know, probably worth getting an upgrade for. This is going to give us bonus science. Flat science is never impressive, but it's never too bad either. Of course I get a happiness bonus on this system if we need it.
Tell us what you plan.
Tell us what you plan. Awfully demanding. What? I don't know what they did.
The deal.
Nope.
The Empire will not.
Alright, it looks like... Oh, come on.
Your actions threaten. How dare you threaten me?
What is wrong with you people?
We despise you, amazed.
this alliance if it's a sinking ship. Let's hope it isn't. Yeah, I need warships, and fast. It's kind of bad that we're at war with 2 factions now. I guess I was better playing the diplomatic game. But also my allies are just reckless. That's one way of saying it. Crazy! Completely crazy. Anyway. Let me not lose my head. Oh, I forgot to get the level 4. Alright, let's get Jadonics, let's get Blue Cap Mold. And why not Hydro Mold, actually? Now I'm gonna maybe wait for Liquid Composites to start building more fleets. The other thing we need is also good siege ships, probably with this mod. The mob. The mob is pretty appropriate considering how we're playing the gangster faction, okay. Sadly, we don't have a great choice to put that mod on, I don't think, because like normally you want to use the colony ships as your siege carriers. There's a lot of like support module slots. Maybe this is better. But you really want to be dedicated coordinator to invasions, right? Let's see. So the Protector has 3 of these slots. Then the Hunter has 1, 2, 3, similar. The Coordinator has 3 of the slots, 4 of the slots actually. But they're also way more expensive, obviously, than the Defenders. So I guess Defenders are best. I love these funny little cranes. It's great. It speaks about the sort of like trade mentality. But then the downside is that we don't have any engines. Yeah, this is really not good. Bonus manpower deployment limit is very important, obviously, but we also need to keep pace with other ships. So, and have some amount of guns is obviously having some amount of guns is obviously nice. Having 10 movement is really it's really unfortunate because I really want more of these modules, but at the same time, if we build enough of these ships, it doesn't really matter how weak they are individually. Like, we build 20 of them, like, it'll be fine. And we need to keep pace with other fleets, or more invasive fleets, so like... I guess this is the siege ship. We discovered on the last playthrough with the United Empire that this OPEX gear is fantastic, because increasing the manpower deployment limit is very relevant. Even if we can't get as good a version with the Lumeris, it's fine, I guess. Let's build a lot. I wish I had gotten this Lumeria Monopoly, because it will give us bonus industry based on our trade value, which would be nice, you know, but we don't have it, so too bad. So we'll have a siege fleet here pretty soon. No, we could probably edit this freebooter to make it better. And we have unlocked some better armor, but that's about it, I think. We haven't really unlocked better guns. Nah, these slugs are just worse, so... We can edit this. We could create a bomber ship. And that's probably not a bad idea. Although we have to prioritize engines to some extent. And again, a slow fleet is like... This is not good. I don't know what to say, it's just bad. Yeah. How fast are these freebooters, actually? No, they have 10 movement, so we should edit this. As long as they can keep pace. Like, a fleet is only as fast as its worst or slowest ship. But actually, yeah, so we can put 3 shields. Oh, sorry, 2 engines and 2 shields and then 2 armors. So that's fine. And once we have this on all, we can go and create some bombers. Or freebooters, actually. It doesn't actually matter. It does matter. Not that much. We basically need to make replacement fleets to replace the fleets we're about to lose. Unless the Cravers don't have enough to actually defend their systems. Level up Pi here. I was going to check how the happiness was going on my system. Yeah, very irritating that I'm out of war with 2 factions. Where is Pi on again? Is it Galta? Yeah. Happiness is good, but not perfect. So we can go for this. Should improve our happiness quite a bit. Yep. By reducing expansion disapproval pretty substantially. I'm just going to keep producing these siege ships here. We really need to generate a big siege fleet as soon as we can. What is this? It's only 1, so it's logistically. Never mind. Don't have to be worried about that. We can also spend dust to build fleets faster. You know, it's not a great deal. But we're generating enough dust that that's sort of a thing that could happen. As opposed to a thing that could, never happen. In under only circumstances ever. Now, yeah, this is... improving our fleets or our hero ship by a little bit is not great, but it's also not that bad. Okay, we should attack their fleets. Cut them down to size. I would say metaphorically, but not really. I just need to cut them. Okay, this is the Academy quest line. We just ignore that for now. We're building a lot of siege ships, but... Well, again, siege as in, like, the ships with the ability to deploy more manpower. So really I should call them manpower ships or something. I could really pump these out very quickly. But also I'd rather pump out some warships. Fortunately, this location is quite close to this location. So we can always move back to Fatia if things get too hairy for that planet. I think they're moving towards this system, and they have quite a few ships there already, so we need to build up the fleets in this location. And I think we will be able to, but maybe it'll be a bit close. Oh, I didn't notice Capitalist Frenzy was active here. Should be producing freebooters there as well. Oh, I didn't notice Capitalist Frenzy wasn't even available there. We should be producing freebooters and bombers there as well. Yeah. Funnily enough, the Cravers are once again trying to invade the Lumeris homeworld. The pacifist laws, the fair trade bill is insane. This generates so many FIDs. It's really nice. And I think I should push for it. Well, actually, I sort of want to save dust because of like the potential need to just buy our chips. Yeah, but we finally got the fair trade bill, which is great, obviously. The problem is we're not really in position to exploit it. Well, actually, we have the stupid truce because of our stupid allies who declare war on everyone. I'm clearly very happy about this. He doesn't have that much to offer us here. I mean, a little bit of happiness bonus is not bad. So you can also go for the bonus science, though that is very, very underwhelming at this stage. Okay, that law was deactivated, so that's unfortunate. So this is a solid bonus, both to happiness and to Fids, just based on the fact that we're an alliance. Although we would prefer to be at peace with these, and we prefer to be at peace with this.
We are at war. You test my patience contacting the Empire.
Ideally, we can get them with our backs. Yeah.
Sure. The war might be inevitable, but that doesn't mean we can't be civilized.
Alright. Not sure what that's supposed to mean. The war might be inevitable, but doesn't mean we can't be civilized. Like, what? I don't understand. You're still trying to threaten me? Like, as you can see, the ability to deploy more troops is immensely helpful. If only our troops were any good. Because we basically get to outnumber them, as long as we have enough troops. Now, I should actually improve our fleets, but improving our armor in particular, because, well, tanks are just pretty good. Mostly they're not prepared for... Actually, let me just go back. Let's see what armies they have. They have a balanced army between tanks, infantry, and air, so we can... We have a bit more tanks, so we can skew a bit more towards air, if we want to. Maybe like air and tanks. Or... I don't know, 67 infantry is more than... Okay, it looks like 67 infantry is a bit less than a third, because we have basically the same as them. So they have like... How much is a third of... Okay, yeah, they have basically a third infantry, and then like... It seems like they have like a third split. I guess we could try and counter that by going very hard on one of these. Although maybe we should just also do a third. I don't know how to best counter a balanced strategy, actually. Maybe like this. Stay very basic. So we could improve our army a bit more there, but yeah, whatever. It's more important that we get these quote-unquote siege ships into the action. We don't have titanium to get more of them. Awkward. Fortunately, they at least seem to be waiting to form up their fleets. And I hope that the addition of super carriers will help us out a bit. The situation is a bit tense. Oh, this upgrade, this infallible authority is super great. Like, basically you're getting Dunark University or microwave pipes in one of your systems as a hero upgrade. It's pretty neat. On this system we've gotten basically all we need to get. Get some defensive upgrades and then just start building bombers, actually. Has decent industrial output, so I'm happy with that. I wonder if we're finally pushing them back on influence. Yes! Finally! That's nice. You can tell by the way the waves, like they pulse, and that's how you can tell which way they're going. So they're going to pulse in the direction that the influence pressure is trending. Okay, we can actually target them. Or not. I was convinced I was going to be able to wreck them here, but actually we have a lot of... our firepower is largely not beam, the projectile, and they have a lot of beam defense, so we can just use projectiles and hull and total. I think that should be fine. I think we should win. Maybe I'm too confident here. Yeah, I was too confident. But we did beat them, I think. Even though it says draw. No, I think we can just skip the sieges for a while. For the quote-unquote siege. Not real siege, but siege. And get a freebooter and some bombers. We need to replenish this fleet a bit. By a bit I mean quite substantially. Actually, this fleet, the sieges, they're not completely worthless in combat. They can actually do a little bit of damage. Although if you compare, like, it's not the same, but like, you know, it does a bit. We can actually attack again. I think we should. Oh, we just killed civilians. Okay, that's cool. Awkward. I think we should spend dust to reinforce this front line. Hopefully the Cravers will be willing to take a peace soon.
The unfallen greet you.
Okay.
The Empire welcomes all those who share its ideals.
Okay, so they don't hate us anymore.
What do you sound like when you scream?
That's very dirty. Or very inappropriate. Okay, so they're interested in the truth. Yeah, again, because I deleted some, I lost some episodes, I remember recording complaining about the Cravers, like, saying dirty things, like, we are coming, or like, what do you sound like when you scream, which at least, like, made me wonder if they're hitting on me or something, but then they replied with, you know, the Hive doesn't care for your interests and stuff, and therefore I'm immediately lonely. But I do want to point out that some of those things can be misconstrued. Okay, so we can already overpower them a bit, as you can see.
You have to be pretty uncivilized to do that.
What? This is loyal, and it says we're gonna sending the big guns and stuff, and somehow he says you have to be uncivilized. There seems to be a mismatch here. Okay. Da, da. Why don't you just listen to the music instead of listening to my bad humming? That sounds a lot better. Let's get more siege ships. We need a lot of these so we can quickly overpower their forces on the ground. Actually, we can't really get that. We could improve our infantry. That's not bad, actually. At this stage, infantry is actually kind of solid because at the start, infantry is not so good because there's two choices between infantry and armor, and armor counters infantry, so just picking infantry means you're always vulnerable to armor with the tier 1 best strategy. But now, air is a big part of the equation, so infantry gets better by not being super countered by everything. I don't know if that was a weird explanation. Start of the game, don't pick infantry. Later on, pick infantry because air has gotten better. At that point, we should probably improve infantry a little bit. I mean, because air is there now. Air is there. I am here. Because air is here, it's just like, I don't know, because air is there, the counter wheel gets mixed up, and suddenly infantry is no longer the thing that always gets countered. Yeah, that's a good way to explain it. Now we can choose to gain extra science at the cost of influence. We'll get extra influence at the cost of science. And I think, I don't know, I want to keep these laws active, because they're really good. So I think I'm more... Although, what are we actually using the extra influence for? I guess we can use the extra influence to convert systems at some point. Like this system. Or maybe this system at some point. I'm sure we should be generating influence pressure on them, yeah. So the extra influence will come in handy, because if you have lots of influence lying around, you can just dump it into picking up systems. And we can get a new law soon, I think. Where is this? Law upgrade? Oh yeah, here you can get a new law. That's nice. As long as we just pick up a couple of upgrades, yeah. I do think I want the white market. Actually, we can get the cooperation protocol since we have extra influence now. That's pretty neat. You didn't think about getting this intergalactic lectures because lectures. So let's just go for that. I can go for that. I mean, like lectures aren't that exciting, I guess. They improve our influence, okay. And influence is pretty good if you're playing peacefully. Yeah, I guess let's get this. Not super impressive, but I kind of picked that hero for the latest. Oh, damn it. the hero I've been building towards for ages, and I just click through his. I'm a terrible leader. Yeah, that should improve our dust and our food and industry on the system by a lot. Let's go down here. As you can see, that should have improved from trade routes. Well, it should say something from hero skills. Oh, never mind. It has improved, okay? Trust me. I'm sure it has. Probably. Taurus has nothing to do. No, it has something to do. We can actually assign it a level 4, which will improve its food production for population on the system. Pretty impressive. And we should get this AI labor online sooner rather than later. I don't want to invest in frivolous things like trade route dust income during a time of crisis, but I am greedy, so I probably will at some point. Do as I say, not as I do, okay. I guess don't be greedy is what I'm saying. We should definitely save dust to buy out more ships. I think I probably will, but if my better nature doesn't shine through here, just take the advice anyways. Sometimes I explain advice better than actually play the game. Explain advice. I mean, you know, what kind of advice doesn't come with an explanation of why your advice is good, you know? If they just tell you to do something and they don't have a good explanation for it, then be skeptical. That's why I always try and provide explanations for why I think certain things are good, bad, etc. Oh no. Oh, actually they're just ganging up on yellow. I kind of want to liberate yellow.
Even for the likes of you, the Hive has an offer.
Oof! You are not diplomats, guys. Shouldn't insult the people you know, either A, are hitting on, or B, you're trying to get a truce with. What are these? Okay, there's a Butcher and a Reaper. We can take that. Okay, they have completely different abilities there. Guess we can try and hit them from long range, barrage fire. What do we have? We have lots of close range weaponry, right? Yeah, it's not gonna work out. Critical hit, we have critical hits. I guess we can just turtle because it doesn't reduce our damage, it gets us to close range for our weaponry to take effect. And then they run away. So they do have an offer, but maybe first we can evade them. And the thing is, we can muster more forces on the actual ground. We have enough airplanes to target their tanks. I think I'm interested in starting an invasion here. Let's make a ship here. Make another ship here. Make a ship. By the way, the fastest way to quote-unquote make a ship, as in to have a ship exit the docking bay. Oh, we have the carrier ships. Never mind. The fastest way to do it is to go to the hangar, and then you select when it clicks 1, and then you click on it, and then you click here, and you can make the new fleets. Very efficient way to do it, especially if you're making fleets all over the place. That's the best way to do it. I wasn't doing it there. Let's make a warship. By warship, I mean this Mios class monstrosity. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, it still looks like a kind of a weird freighter retrofitted for war. This is basically the theme of the playthrough, so why not? Yeah. Do we want to build lots of rockets or lots of... I guess the rockets are good. But so are the close range weaponry. The thing about these ships, they need to fight at all. Need to be able to fight at all ranges, I think. I'm just going to go for additional shielding here, and then I can get triple engines, which is very important if you want to ever get anywhere at any point, ever, at any time. Just engines. They're good. Actually, maybe I should get these lasers here. It decreases the overall damage, but it makes... Okay, the ship is going to be quite good at long range, and... Yeah, it's good to diversify your weapon suite a bit. It's not that much, just a little bit can help. Every little bit counts. Alright. I think I should try and upgrade my warriors a bit more. My ground warriors, that is. Just a little bit. Oh, there's not enough Hyperion. That's sad. Yeah, we don't have enough Hyperion to get this next upgrade, unfortunately. Nor do we have enough Quadronics to upgrade our infantry to the highest level. I think it should be fine. Let's hit them with our best shot. Come out swinging, etc, etc. The ability to deploy more forces than they could ever deploy is pretty cool. Oh, interesting. It tells you how good they are against everything. Anyway, let's watch the fight. I'm kind of keen to see how Lumeris units look. Again, watching ground battles is not like the biggest part of the game. I do like how Lumeris units look here. They don't look like warriors necessarily. So it looks like we're doing more damage to them than they are to us. Maybe just marginally at least. Or not actually. Yeah, it doesn't look like we can overpower them yet. They're preemptive. How did they preemptive bomb me? I guess it's from improvements in the system. Yeah, so this strategy is working a lot better with United Empire, but okay. They're worried because they're at war for third party. Probably for other alliance. Now the question is, do I want to keep pressing them? Because the problem is, like, if they wipe out one of the other factions, like, if they wipe out the friendly little trees, that's one less faction we can be at peace with and less FIDs we're going to get overall. So, that's unfortunate for us. I don't know. At the same time, like, we are a bit worried about them. It would be nice if we could just influence convert the system, for example. I'm not sure which is best. And we're not going to break the siege over here anytime soon. I don't know. Do I want to cede to this demand? I'm really not sure what's correct here. This is like peanuts in terms of us giving them nuts, and actually gaining some blue cap mold is nice. But at the same time, I don't want them to kill blue, like yellow. That'll be unfortunate. Because then there was one less faction we can be friends with. That's how that's so sad. But I don't think we can actually take them militarily at the moment. So, I guess we'll accept. Now we're truce with all of these factions. I want to be at peace with more factions than that, but okay. You can't always get what you want. And mostly our warships are just kind of garbage at this point. I mean, they're not garbage, but we are missing out on some really good high-tier weaponry. With some of the really good high-tier weaponry. I think it might be one of the rare circumstances where yellow actually just gets crushed. Like, often players will not be extinguished, or factions will not be defeated completely in this game. there's a really big difference between this game and Endless Space, Endless Legend, where like factions get crushed left, right, center in the mid-late game, you know. But this game is not like that. That's just force peace. What?
The unfallen greet you again. The heart beats with caution.
Okay. The more factions we're at peace with, the more happiness we get, the more frenzy we get. Their trade bill is really strong.
Unsure if your actions
Okay, fine, I get it. So, like, one time forcing peace didn't work out for me, but, like, just in general, it's still really good. The takeaway from this is that diplomacy easy mode is just forcing peace again and again and again. Pretty sure even against other players, you just do that. Yes, I force peace again. I'm such a good diplomat. Score. Let's go here. Oh, they left yellow alone. Interesting. So that means we get another faction just to constantly influence pressure. It's pretty nice. Even though we can never take their systems per se, we can still put a lot of influence pressure on them and just generate a lot of value that way. Like the resource terms are not bad. I mean, I say a lot of value, like a decent amount of value sometimes. It's okay. It's not like we're playing the affordable or anything. But the value we just get is just monumental. Like, it's insane. But we're finally generating like a lot of value from all of these trade routes. No, happy about that. We're getting a lot of dust per turn. And let's see if we can pull our lines over the finishing line. So for economic victory, we have like a fifth, or a bit less than a fifth of the mark we need. By a bit less, I mean like quite a bit less. What we really like for military technology is this Orichalcix weaponry. Then we could have top tier weapons using a resource we already have a lot of. Pi leveled up. Let's just get the science. Well, the flat science bonus is never bad.
It is refreshing to see that we...
Alright. Let's do that trick I mentioned. We go here, we click, we make new ships. New ship. New ship. New ship, yeah. Now once we've done this, we should go back to getting the capitalist frenzy in all of our systems. Okay, wait, I've already done that. Let me just work for all of them. No, not vacating the system, that would be really bad. I'm not going to do that. The long story short is that capitalist frenzy is pretty good. Even here on Orm, I recommend getting it. Well, I guess especially on the really well developed systems, you're just gonna dump all your industry into something else. In this case, even a 50% conversion rate is... Look, it's not like you're generating dust on a one-to-one basis for industry, but industry is something you already have quite a lot of, and you don't really need this point, so it is really a good deal. You're turning something you're not that interested in into something you're very, or not more interested in. Because every point of dust will help us generate more dust to win the game, or will help us generate dust for more freighters to help us win the game. If you have freighters, so you know. Every point of dust is really good for us. The same can't be said for every point of industry we randomly have lying around. That's great. Setting Jade Onyx is so good because of how much we're generating with our faction perk. It's just disgusting, actually. Nice. Yeah. Let's bounce here. believe study is normally better. Just for the bonus. I haven't actually texted, or like, I should look up what those things do. I can't text the magic out of it, you know. Oh well, this choice is always this. It's kind of like we played RPG for the second time, or like one with choices, and you're like, actually, this choice was always best. But it kind of kills the moment where it's like, oh, are you agonizing about what choice you should take, or what route we should pursue, or something? And once you know which one is best, then it's like, it kills a bit of the role playing or the fun. Okay, we've got some industry on all of our colonies. That's pretty solid. Fair trade, build and make, love and war are just insanely powerful together. We're generating so much happiness, and also we're generating so much frenzy from our various peace and alliance states.
Seek only harmony, not anger or offend.
Make an economic tribute, and you can give me your... what are the antimatter?
Your actions and work.
It's weird how like the forcing people to see to your demands is like something they normally take in their stride. It's like, oh, that's nice, you know. We still love you, even though you told us to do stuff for you and no pay, because you're more wealthy or influential than us. That's kind of awkward, but anyway. Okay, here, also the second part of that trick to pick up all the ships is that you cycle through the idle ships tab. That'll be our staging ground over there. Yeah, we have two big fleets here. As you can see, we're short of 24, which is the ideal amount, I think, because 24 you can have like 4 carrier ships in one fleet, which is very strong. If we want to do warfare again, I definitely, desperately want this Orichalcix weaponry. We do so much damage with our projectile weapons, it's so great. We don't even have this, but we don't have enough adamantium or antimatter to fund that. We have to use them for economy. Especially since we're playing an economic game. Like both of what we're trying to do and both how the game has been developing. Let's continue. Sorry again. Sadly I have a cold, but you know. This episode is a bit behind. Oh, we're covering Muses completely? It's completely blanketing that. That's great for us. Unless I assume we're going to be covering Feathering Fagus and Niles, so that's pretty great. By the way, I did say Feathering is a joke. Like, I don't think that's how language works. Hey, we got the Citadel of Demography. We get increased diplomatic pressure. Oh, that's nice. And how do we get it? Be the first to unlock third population connection bonus level. Okay, that's easy to do. We just got this tier the fastest, and that's where we got that. You can also get this obelisk of all space at a time if you feel like it. Very hard to build these things, but they do help us get the Wonder Victory, and they give us a ton of shit. That's a weird way of describing it. They give us a ton of stuff in return for building them. Okay, I didn't do that. We're close to getting the economic victory. That's nice. We can actually think about building a Tower of All Space and Time. No, we can't buy that. It's too expensive. Well, Interstar Group level up very quickly. Each level we get increases our revenue. Really nice. I think I just want to get this seagrass petrochemicals. It's going to improve our dust, improve our industry, which improves our dust again. Pretty strong upgrade. And also, like, it turns all our dead food into a resource. Like, this is doing nothing for us in a system which is already full of population. Okay, obviously dead food is nice here. This plan is acid rain. I should probably have moved population units over to something else. I'm like really surprised that anyone can still function despite this acid rain. But it's cool how the environmental effect makes the plan look different, but probably less pleasant to be under the acid raid. I think we should get this National Museum, make sure we can put influence pressure on others. I can get autonomous administration to make sure our happiness stays high. Actually, let me just build up the influence pressure here. We're right next to 2 minor factions. So I'm starting to think of the Lost Cravers as minor factions. Look, we can easily just gobble these outposts and cities up with our influence pressure machine. In particular, we have the SLC, you know, could be fun. How do we get this? Be the first to pass a law from each of the 6 political parties on the beginning of the game. This is really hard to do. But the reward is minus diplomatic cost reductions. That's not very impressive. We can get another law now. Dirty Hands Act. Pretty solid. Because it reduces the system improvement industry cost. But we already have a lot of systems which are like idle in industry. So this is very good at the start of the game. Not so good right now. Increases luxury resources. And increases dust per luxury. That's pretty good. Is it going to be better than super tax sector? I don't know. Like, let's think about it. Here's a system with 2 luxuries. Not atypical for us. Now, if we get 20% increased dust here, is that going to be better than... That's going to be like 38 increased dust. Or whatever, no. That's 10%, my bad. That's going to be like... Damn it. Like, roughly 80. Actually, that's going to be like... Never mind, that's going to be... oh man, slow math. 160-ish dust. And how many population units do we have here? That's 21 times 4. Okay, it's actually going to give us more than super tax on systems with a decent amount of J-Donics, etc. And especially on systems like Fatia, where a lot of dust is generated by trade and not so much dust is generated by the population. So, yeah, I've talked myself into picking up my precious. And also getting extra luxuries, not bad, not bad. And I've also finally gotten enough influence. Hopefully the pressure trend is like more in this direction now. Yep. We're finally not being completely squashed on influence here. Polylanguage Institute would be neat here because it desperately needs extra influence. Like, so desperate. But this is a good influence upgrade as well. Yeah, so I think this is a decent hero for this location. We need microwave pipes here though, that's one thing. Oh, we have all of this. That's great. No! Why can't I buy nice things? Why? Cool world. That's because I spend all my money. But like, why? I don't budget properly. Life. It's so sad. It's sometimes so sad. I'm being a bit melodramatic, obviously. Hopefully for comedic effect, but yeah. Okay, sadly, there's a bit of a disaster. Bonus cost on law upkeep is probably a bit worse than... The 50% bonus cost on law upkeep is going to be a bit worse than this. So we got the cheat cost in the next election, but now the scandal has been revealed and we have to either defend our leaders or fire them, so...
We despise you more than most.
Okay, fine. I get it, you despise me more than most. But well, how does that make me feel, you know? Not very good. There. So sad now. Let's get the microwave pipes here. It will help us generate more influence, which we need to push back here. The influence zone is growing here, but, you know, having them cover it is not good. I mean, they can never influence convert us as long as we're in an alliance. Whoa, look at how many ships I'm sending. This is what happens when we don't form up. It's complete chaos. Anarchy reigns. I think I should sell... Just generating so much J-Donics. This is completely... 100 J-Donics a turn. That is completely disgusting. I'm in love with Jade Onyx. Look at how much we're generating a turn. This is completely ridiculous. And we can sell it for so much and generate so much money off it. I think I'm starting to understand the Lumeris. Alright, so now that we have a filthy amount of production, we have a convoy of fleets closing on this location. I think now is a decent time to end the episode. So we're moving our way towards an economy victory gradually. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, or you learned something, or ideally both, consider subscribing and liking the videos, or just checking out for future content. As usual, I really enjoyed making this video, and I hope you did enjoy something about it too. See you next time.